Hey guys, welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about financial literacy, growing a little bit more responsible with finances, growing generational wealth, some things I've been learning, and I just want to share this with you. This is something I'm really excited about. So I figured why not share it. If you're new here and you don't know who I am, I'm Christine. I'm owner and content creator of bloomingbrilliant.net, where I share educational resources, parenting advice, and of course information about homeschooling. I'm a homeschool mom of two. I homeschool my 14-year-old daughter and my 10-year-old son right here in Brooklyn, New York, and I love to share our homeschooling journey with you. Today's video is a little bit personal, but also can be put into the homeschooling realm because financial literacy is something we should all learn and know, and it's something that we're not taught in school, so why not teach it in our homeschool? So if you are interested in homeschooling and you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button and also ring that notification bell so you're alerted when we post new videos. About a month ago, I started going on this journey of learning more about financial literacy and growing generational wealth. And I know those sound like loaded words, but I read a book and it triggered me because it triggered me in a good way, not in the way that most people get triggered nowadays. It triggered me in a way that it made me want to take action, made me want to be more responsible, made me want to just take a chance, right? So that book is called Wealth Warrior, and it's by Linda Garcia. It has an extended title, but I don't remember the whole title. It was, if you look up Wealth Warrior and Linda Garcia, you'll find it. But I'll also have the link in the description box. So again, about a month ago, I actually watched a couple of videos by Linda Garcia that was on the internet. It might have been like it was something promoting her book. It might have been on social media, and some of the things that she said just really hit home. One, she talks about, I should say, I would say her content, but it's her. She talks about being a person of color and not feeling and not knowing, really, not having the knowledge and the tools in like our toolbox to understand some of the things in finances which keep us stuck in the position that we are. And I totally get that. One thing that I have been pretty open about is that my dream is to buy a home. I think many of us have that same dream of, we want to have that like American dream, like have the home with the, all of it. Now, I'm live in New York City. I am going to be here in New York for at least 20 years as my partner works for the city, so we are here. And he just recently got the job, and I've been saving and working really hard to be able to, well, one, to become, I've learned a lot of skills, and I credit my mom to teaching me a lot of stuff about being responsible financially, like never spending more than you make. If you are buying something on credit, make sure that you can pay for that without worry, without stressing about paying that minimum payment. Like, never pay the minimum payment. When your bills come in or when your bills are due, you pay them as soon as they come in. As soon as you get that bill, you pay that bill. You do not leave it hanging around. You get that bill and you pay it. That's it. It's done. Just keeping track of your spending and your earning and things like that. But my mom also did not plan well for her older age. And so this is something that I worry about now for myself, for her. We also have a mindset that I noticed where it's like we worry about like making too much, so that way we would be over like a tax bracket. So we worry about taxes. We worry about not being qualifiable for As my kids are getting older, I did have that like fear that if I make too much money, or if I, have these things set up, my kids won't be eligible for financial aid, because that's what we're taught. We're taught like to rely on these things, or to at least try to get these things, because it's hard. Because if you're in that middle space, where many of us are, it's like we can't have the free stuff, we can't have the handouts of, and not in a bad way, because I had financial aid, I had Medicaid for a long time, so not like that, but we that's a safety net, and we don't necessarily want to like lose that, but then we're also stopping ourselves from, going beyond. And in the book, she talks about this a lot. A lot of what she talks about is mindset based, so that definitely aligned with me. If you've been here for more than a minute, I'm all about, having a good open mindset, and like reflecting on your stuff to figure out like where this disruption is coming from. She has an amazing book. I read it. It was great. I ended up purchasing her course, and also joining her Patreon, to get more information, to get more learning, to continue my learning, right? I highly recommend the book. It talks about the stock market, and especially for people of color, because we do not have a hand. Like, it's a really small percentage of us that actually are taking advantage of the stock market. Now, the stock market, to me, it sounded terrifying, although I've always been interested in it. But it sounds like a place where I'm not supposed to be. I mean, yeah. And it makes sense that I feel like that, but that's why we need to show up, right? So I just listened, I just read, I just wanted to know more information, and that's what I did. I did start implementing some steps. So one thing she had mentioned in the book was that, through her research, she learned, or she read somewhere, or saw somewhere, that a wealthy person said that they would never have their money in a high yield savings account. And most of us, if I'm financially responsible, I was saving money. I'm still saving money, and I was putting my money in a regular bank account, like, with a local. So I didn't have a high yield savings account. I had a regular savings account, and I was making like 0.5% interest on my savings. And she said that the wealthy person said that they would never have their money in a high yield savings account, because that is not even doing anything for them. So then I started looking up what a high yield savings account was. And a high yield savings account gives you a higher percentage of interest, because usually it's not a brick and mortar bank, right? And so, but it is FDIC insured, because that was like my biggest thing. I was like, oh my gosh, I'll move my money into a different savings account, and I'm gonna lose all my money because it's not backed by anything. It's not gonna be safe. But no, I'm not sharing this so you go and run and do it. I do want you to pick up the book if you're interested in this, because it definitely lit a fire in me, and I think if you are like aligned with this, it might light a fire in you and might change your life, and we could be changing our lives together at the same time. But anyway, I moved some of my money into a high yield savings account. The reason they usually can provide high yield savings is because usually it's like an online bank, so they don't necessarily have the same responsibilities as a brick and mortar, meaning they don't have to keep all these brick and mortar buildings and stuff running. They have lower costs, so they're able to use that money by giving it back to the consumer, us, the ones that opening the account in their banks. So anyway, it's been a month, and I put in a small amount of money into that savings account because I was scared, and I'm still like, leery. So I was like, okay, I don't want to put in all my money. I don't want to close down my regular bank account. anything like that. So I'm tiptoeing into this. And I got $9 in interest. And that to me is amazing because that's $9 I did nothing but sit on my butt for. $9 for the month. $9 with nothing. Just that was just money that was sitting there doing nothing anyway. That I was just hoarding. That I would have made a penny on in my regular bank. So that opened my eyes and I was like, okay. So, I mean, like I said, you need to do your own research. You need to make sure you understand it. I am no way a professional. I'm just sharing what I learned. So, yeah. The next thing is I started learning about the stock market and how to invest and like work on my mindset around it. Because, yes, you can lose money and things like that. But if you read the book, you'll understand how it works. And in my thinking is I throw out money, and it's not like your whole savings. Like, don't put your whole savings into the stock market. Like, just listen, don't do anything. Read the book. But anyway, you don't put like your whole savings into the stock market. You could just put like what you would do like a month. You would say like I spend $50 on a product at least once a month that I end up not needing or not using or throwing out or just whatever. So take that $50 for the month, let that be your spending for the month, and invest in the company, in a company that you believe in. That's like the hardest thing. A company that you believe in, at least you have some kind of ownership over that, and if it goes up, then you eventually can sell that stock and have, money from it, and your money grew from whatever you invested to whatever it became. Now, with losing money, the only thing you can really lose is whatever money you invest. So say you had that $50 and you invested it in something like Coca-Cola. Now, the only way you lose that $50 is if you first of all sell when it's a negative of that $50. But most likely it's going to go up over that $50 and you would sell at a higher value, so you would not lose any money, or you would, if you did have to make a loss, you're really just losing the $50 that you put, not any money that it might have gained that you didn't actually put in. So anyway, I don't want to go into the whole nitty-gritty of it because I'm just learning, but I wanted to share with you what I'm learning and how excited it made me. And I feel like this is really nice at this stage in my life. As I told you in our last video, I'm getting older, and I mean, of course, I wish I learned this years ago, because then I would be probably in a better place. But I'm excited that I'm learning about it now, and I'm excited to be sharing it with my kids because I told you this in previous videos that I am very open with everything that I do and having these conversations. So having my kids learn with me has been really beneficial. Let me know what your thoughts, and I'll see you next time tomorrow with another video. Okay? Have a great one. Happy homeschooling. Bye.